in my name. Let's get started today, ladies and gentlemen. I love when you do that. All right, so why did I choose this? I choose this because there's a lot of myth. There's myth going on. There's there's fairy tales going on about where you can actually develop your entrepreneurial spirit. Some say quit the job you have and go develop it, you know, and I realized that if you're going to be late at work, if you're going to not provide any value at work, how the hell could you provide value in your place of your own business? Like, how could you do that? Like, it's not aligned, baby. You're lying to yourself. If you're late at work, you're going to be late getting up for your own thing. That's all. That's always what I say. So we're going to get into it right now and see. So the benefits of a resource center. When I call something a resource center, I'm saying that I could get resources from it. And I got my Merriam-Webster right here with me. My resource center is my place of employment. It is my place of enjoyment. Doesn't mean that I have to be there for 80 years, okay? We're all entrepreneurs. We all want to develop our entrepreneurial spirit. It does mean that while I'm there, I'm going to garner, I'm going to reciprocate the resources that they have, and I'm going to put something back in the reserve to benefit me. So while, let me look up the word resources. I got the official Merriam-Webster. I realized that I had the fake one, and Merriam emailed me and they said, yo, get it together. You got the fake, the thing is unethical, man. So a resource, okay? It is a supply, a source of supply or support, okay? It enhances the quality of your life. It's available. It's used for relief or recovery. Okay, ability to meet and handle situations. So obviously I changed my verbiage around the workplace, around my place of employment, which I call now the place of enjoyment. The first thing you could get there is free training and mentoring, baby. All right, I could literally send an email and set up a meeting with the manager, with the CEO, with the COO, with the SCR, with anything that I want to do. I could really literally touch that person. If I have questions, hey, my own business questions, I could literally touch that person and say, hey, could we set up a meeting? Of course, the strategy is going to be for the benefit of the company, but you use that approach, and now you got a free mentoring program. Once someone even gets a whiff that you are ready to attack, that you're ready to climb up that corporate ladder, they're going to take a liking to you and give you all the benefits, tell you what they're reading, tell you what they've done, tell you the courses that they've been in, tell you how long it took to get them the job. Remember, we always have to have a strategy and approach, even at our resource center. So the free training that you get, instead of being bored, right? I remember when I first had jobs and they were like, oh, Stacey, you got to go to an in-service seminar. I'm like, oh my God, please, not again. But then I realized, let me redirect the way I think about this. This company spent millions of dollars, invested millions of dollars to keep me up to date on different policies, codes, training, hospitality, customer service, sales, whatever it is. Take that free training and mentoring and really utilize it for your own development. This is how you become that entrepreneur spirit. Another thing is increasing your income opportunity. Of course, once you get smarter, once you start learning more, once you're there for a strategic reason and approach, you will begin to increase your income. When I first started at the airline industry, I work in the airline industry, but not for too long now. But I used it to my benefit. I first walked in there, I said, you know what, man, I'm at the bottom of the barrel. You know, and it's not nice here. And I want to get, what's the quickest approach that I could use to get up there? And of course, I learned that there's a steps to it. There's supervisor, manager, and they do the less work, right? You ever seen your manager don't pick up nothing? Okay, they don't do nothing and they get more money. Why? Because they provide more value, because they provide solutions. So I figured, how fast can I get on the solution end of things versus being a problematic person? Free skill building. Man, I learned so much using the skills, because I could actually develop myself there. So customer service skills, dependabilities, business acumen. I didn't even know what the word acumen was until I was in my corporate job. Right? So now I'm even learning things. So if I want to test out something that I'm reading in a fabulous book, I'll test it out on a customer. Conflict resolution. These are things that you could actually deploy while you're in your 9 to 5. You don't have a customer when you're starting your business, right? There's no customers, but how do you get your training for how to handle customers in your 9 to 5? Don't get fooled. Do not get fooled. And I'll tell you where the myth is coming from in a couple more slides. Free interpersonal skills training. Boy, you don't even understand how I developed this at the 9 to 5. I use that technique, and trust me, people didn't even know I was working it on them. My colleagues, co-workers, friends in the job, supervisor, didn't even know I was trying to build my thing. Do you know what a 360 interview is? A 360 interview is when you're interviewing someone, but you're asking them at the same time, how are you doing? And what could you develop and what could you change? I learned to accept constructive criticism. I learned to build my strengths and outsource my weakness right there at the 9 to 5. Free business training. I don't know about you, but I didn't know what the hell a handbook was, policies was, how they were written, how much they were making. Mine's a public traded company. If yours a private or public traded company, if you're working for any one of those, you could still find out how they're handling their business, okay? How much are you guys being traded for? What's the forecast for Q1? How did you guys beat that? What are you doing to expand? I ask all these questions in my 9 to 5, and I learn a lot about the industry and about my own self in my business. Training, this is huge. You know, here's how it goes. I asked all my employees, because, you know, I'm in a manager position, which I won't be for too long, and I keep hinting that, but I asked all my employees how much we invest in them from the time they take the fingerprint, right, to their first day on the job training. They are surprised to know exactly how much. Mind you, it's a bit, you're at the bottom of the barrel, baby. You're making $12 to $13 an hour to start, depending on where you're starting. That's bottom of the barrel. That's what you're thinking, right? So I rearrange and reshape their mind as soon as they step in and say, how much did we invest in you before you even got here 2 weeks ago? I don't know, maybe, you know, 1,000, 2,000. The uniforms are probably 500, you know. And I say, nah, man, we invest $15,000 per head walking through the door. But how did I have that number? Because I wanted to know how much was invested in me. I started treating this whole thing as if it were my business. How much are employers investing in training, on the job training? Right? I received a lot of certifications through my employer, and I know depending on the industry you're in, you will be able to get trained and then certified. Take all of those courses. I got the ADA, the CPR, hospitality training from a big group in New York that was paid millions of dollars to come in and teach us about hospitality. The same training the Ritz-Carlton people get. Why wouldn't I jump for it? Tell me your secrets. These can all be used to grow your resume and business. Because at the same time, when we think about it, comfort killers, when we think about it, right, you're starting your business, right? All right, you have nothing to use until, you know, you could read 1,000 books. But if you can't turn a bad situation with a customer in your 9 to 5, in your place of enjoyment, in your resource center, if you can't turn that bad experience to having them rave about you, to having them thank you, then you won't be able to do it in your business. Guaranteed, you will not get up the next day and say, you know what? I don't care that I was a sucky employee. I'm a great business person. I don't believe it. You need more people. I don't believe you. You need more people. Able to add my own flavor and experience. So I developed myself, even though they were teaching me the structured thing. Training is, of course, structured, and you know, you have to hit these points. I was able to add my own flavor and experience to it. And I was loving to be a part of the training itself. Who's here? Who's willing? Stacy is. I always had the left hand up. The damn hand never went down. Okay, because I was playing a game. I had my strategy. The other bums over there, they were looking at me like, oh man, she's a, what do you call that? A brown noser. Oh, she just, no man, I'm on my J.O. Like I'm trying to get up out of here or increase my income quick. I don't have any time. Say yes to everything and exploit it all. And then you can see how it fits in your business. I learned how to write beautiful, beautiful, beautiful emails and get my point across in less than 30 seconds. And I'm not talking about this Milo O. Frank book that I'm reading right now, but I really developed that. I wanted to see how fast I could get my point across in a sentence. And I developed that. Employers spend a good amount of money to onboard an employee, learn what you can from them, soak everything up. So here's where the myth starts coming in now. All right, here's where the myth starts coming in. Before that, take online courses, learn your industry. I had to do it. I received newsletters on happenings in my industry to always stay one step ahead of the curve, one step ahead of everyone else. I take free online courses all the time. You don't have to try to go dip and dive, but please invest in yourself. You will begin to build major discipline around gaining knowledge, man, and becoming more valuable in your field. That's what's going to happen. And once you become more valuable, once you provide more value, your money increases. The things work together. They're aligned, baby. Find your why early. So here's the story. I walked in there. I walked in my 9-to-5 bottom barrel, and I asked them, yo, who here is the best person? Who here is the best employee? Point to me, where's the go-to guy around here or gal around here? They all pointed synonymously, all together, to this one young man. And I looked him and I watched. It didn't happen the first day. A week later, I watched him. 2 weeks later, I watched him. I tried to identify why everyone thought he was the best. He was the best of the best. And I realized after watching him and observing him is that the other employees, when they had a difficult time on the computer or they had a difficult time doing a task or dealing with a customer, they would always call him. So he was the go-to person. But I realized after watching a few more moments, he would push the employee out the way and solve the problem himself. So it wasn't that he was better than them. They just didn't know how to solve the problem for themselves. So of course, the easy, lazy employee is going to say he's the best because he pushes me out of the way and does the work. So what do you think I did as a strategy? As a strategy, I went in there and I showed them what I did. Every time they had a problem, hang up the phone, don't call them, I got you. And this is how you do it. So little by little, now Stacy A. Cross is the best one in there, the best of the best. Why? Because I added value for someone else. I didn't just push them out of the way. And my name was marked. So leave your mark. Leave your name behind. Have people know you as the go-to. The first thing I went in there and said was, who was the best person in this place? And guess what? That best person right now isn't in my space. It's strategy, baby, and that's all to it. Be the go-to person for an issue, not because they cannot solve it themselves, but because you are looked at as someone who gets the job done. So knock off the bad habits at the resource center. Here goes the bad habits. Being late. If you're late at the resource center, you're late in your own thing. You're gossiping. You're going to gossip all around in your own thing. Bad hygiene, man. I had to throw this one in here because this is offensive. I don't think people understand how offensive bad hygiene could possibly be. If you can't walk in a room with your colleagues, you're not going to walk in a room to close a deal. You're just not doing it. Please. You're being irresponsible You know, you're leaving work for someone else. These are all things that I see on a daily basis. And I'm talking fresh new ones that come into the workforce. And it's like they should be the young gunners, the ones that are ready for everything. They should shoot and kill and aim later. But no, these guys are one finding faults with their manager, finding excuses. If you're really ready to start a business, you will have to be everything that you really hate. And that will not work. Let me see. What is your why? See, my why was I need to get the most money I can in this space to start my business. That was my why. So I had no time for the chit chat, had no time to be at the water cooler, had no time for the games. I went in there with a strategy and I stuck to it. Your approach and objective should mirror each other. Now here goes the myth. Now, a lot of people in this business or in any business, they're on the come up, they want to start their own business, and they're quickly saying, oh man, look at Grant Cardone. Oh man, look at Gary Vee. See, they're looking at the 30-year end and still going, right? From Grant Cardone. You know, Gary Vee been in the game for a minute. Where did Gary Vee start? Okay. Gary Vee started in a structured ass, almost corporation of his daddy's wine shop, and he built his entrepreneurial spirits there. Now look at Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone, slinging big deals, real estate, 400 mil, big Grant Cardone TV, everywhere, you ain't there, in Scientology, out of Scientology. But here's the deal. At the end of the day, he started in the car dealerships that he started selling to. He was there as an employee. He got out of rehab and went right back to what he knew and what you know right now and what's feeding your kids. Don't frick with me. What is feeding your kids and keeping your light on, you're trying to disrespect and say, man, I can't have that structure, man. I can't slave 9 to 5. But guess what? You be slaving with no lights on, because if you feel like you're slaving a 9 to 5, what's going to happen when you're working 18 hours on your own thing? It just don't add up. I invest more time on my own thing than I would ever do in a 9 to 5. But we can't be battling and worrying about time. What about, man, you show up late for that thing, you definitely gonna miss my appointment when we talking about business, man. All right? So you gotta have the structure. People talking about they don't want the structure, they don't want the rules, they don't want the policies, but they want to start a business with structure, rules, and policies. It don't get it. So what's your why? Learn more, earn more, invest more in your business. I started the Comfort Killers working, and my hours are crazy at the airline. I started the Comfort Killers working around the clock to get this thing off the ground at work, and then came back here at work. At the resource center, then came back here at the resource center. There was no excuses, okay? And if you know, like I know, when your flight is delayed for weather or it's delayed for maintenance, we don't go nowhere until the last customer is taken care of. So it's not like I had a perfectly situated 9 to 5. I never had it. So my watch just came on and said I was having a workout right now. It just was like, keep up the good work. You're working out. All I'm doing is talking. It's crazy. All right, so let's open it up for some questions. And I want you guys to find me here. Let me go to that slide. I like typing it. And this will be recorded. This is recorded and will be on our Mastermind page. It will be on YouTube. This one will be on YouTube. If you have questions, drop your questions in the box. If it's a personal question, hit hello@thecomfortkillers.com. So this is the deal. This website right here, thecomfortkillers.com. That's right there. We got a free course going on right there. Thecomfortkillers.com. That's a platform where we're dropping a lot of courses on. And this is the value that I wanted to give to you guys. You can let them know I sent you there. And this is courses, online courses from Harvard, Purdue, Columbia, all of these big boys. Okay. Free online courses. I'm actually taking personal finance right now. I'm taking a few others. So I wanted to give you that sweet one. Of course, as always, I open this channel up for everyone. That's a difference maker, man. Someone said, Stace, I can't believe you give your email and calendar out. I'm like, why wouldn't you believe that? I'm in a business, man. I'm not here to hide, you know? This right here is the official mastermind. And the official mastermind, ladies and gentlemen, is all it is a one-on-one. I do have some experts that come in to help the individuals when they need, you know, beyond my scope, beyond my strategy. We do have experts that come in. And of course, at Stacey A. Cross on all the channels. Again, this will be recorded, so you can pull this up at a later date. As soon as we finish here, it's usually up on all the channels. So I get a lot of questions after the fact. I do have a question from before, but I want to make sure that you guys, the last one, we had procrastination. So you guys could actually give us topics, and we'll drop them in the topic box or whatever we do. So let me hear some questions. I'm going to unmute the mics, and if you guys have any questions, shout it through.
Okay, so how do I value my business? How does a person value their business?
That's a great question. Let me just mute you. So how do you value your business? So it depends on what we put in term for value, right? So we could put value as a number, value as a feeling, value as a resource, something that is provided, is giving back to you. How I value my business is something that overtakes everything in my life. So I don't value it numerically. I value it with my intentions on it, right? And the direction where I'm taking it. I value my business to a point, and I just want to make sure I'm clarified on what you mean by value. I'm going to unmute you. Go ahead.
So value as what kind of service do you provide? What kind of value do you have in that?
Oh man, Frank, that is Frank Sagasta. Thank you for the question. The service I provide, my goal, first of all, my mission is to teach millions how to get uncomfortable. So which each service, even this is a free service that I offer to my mailing list in order to reach that number. Can I ever reach that number? Of course I can. Of course I can. But all these little nuggets and services, even in opening my calendar, Frank, even in my 30-minute meetings on a day-to-day basis, the value I provide always ties back to my mission and my purpose, which is to teach millions how to get uncomfortable. Whichever way I have a touch point for them, it's going to happen. And that's the value that I provide, is that every day I live through this company. I open the doors. You see what I'm doing on all the socials. I am Stacey A. Cross. You're unmuted.
All right. So next question is, should a person always start a business even though they might be in debt? Should a person start a business even though they might be in debt?
Yes. I love that question. I love that question. I was in debt when I started my business. So my answer is going to be yes, because that perfectionist mode of waiting for the perfect time never happens, right? It just doesn't happen. If I could do it in debt, I didn't need to wait at all. So my whole thing is, how do I invest what I do have? And I don't know if you know my story, but I came from being a gambling addict for 9 years. So I look at it like, look how much money I wasted already. I'm already in debt. What if I put that money inside myself, which is the business? So I didn't go out there and invest in a business. I invested in myself, that became the business. So I would say 100% yes, nothing should stop you. All it is an excuse to me that you're not starting a business because you're in debt. Yes, we're going to have a chime in here with Siobhan.
I just wanted to piggyback on that and say that I think even if you are in debt and you're looking to start a business, having, the personal financials, working through that at the same time as you're working, towards your business is a good thing to do at the same time, because it'll help you better manage your business financials as well and see where all the money is going.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you for that note. I definitely agree with that, because the first steps was we got real with our finances, like got super real, like where's this money going? And the next mastermind will talk more about the financial and how we were able to overcome that and being in debt and working on our debt. Working on our debt while we're starting a business and growing this business, Frank. You're unmuted.
Okay, so next and last question. So as an entrepreneur, is it important for us to have investors, or should we have a partner?
Wow. This is awesome. I say this is awesome, Frank, because we just spoke about this today. We just spoke about this today, and it's kind of eerie. It's kind of goosebumpy because my partner is coming tomorrow. So we're figuring out a nice show title to go roll with. And it was like, how do you find investors when you don't know any? And we're like, should we get investors or partners? I believe that you should focus on, and this is funny because I wasn't looking for neither. I always believe that, oh, my baby is my baby. I can't let anyone come in and just ruin it. And then that was a mental block, and that was also an excuse of having me move forward. I was scared with growth, and I had to unblock that. So what I did was allowed an investor in, which sharpened me up financially, right? Because that's what it's going to do. It's going to sharpen me up to a point where I have to now watch the finances. I'm going to get better with money because someone trusted me with theirs for this business. But I have a partner and investors. And just for you saying that, I appreciate it. I believe that you should go with whatever you feel. Like I said, I removed the filters, and I wasn't in a position to start it all by myself. So I had to open up and allow an investor to come along and aboard with us.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your question.
You're very welcome.
Yep, thank you. And thank you guys for joining. We have 3 minutes left. Like I said, on that screen right there, that's where you could find me. Frank, you've been amazing on this journey. And I love that question. Now I know that people had that question in mind. We definitely have to get that show out there, because you're going to hear from the investor and partner himself on what it takes, what he looks for in someone that's just starting out with no proof, with no social proof, in debt, and ready to go, ready to take action. So I think that's going to be provide some value to other people out there. And the next one, of course, if you have any topic ideas, send them through. Send them through to hello@thecomfortkillers.com, edx.org. Please check that out. Let them know I sent you. Courses from Harvard, Purdue, Columbia, all over the world. Awesome Ivy League schools. So thank you guys. Take that. I always try to have a nugget for you guys. Take that and let's get uncomfortable. Let's remain uncomfortable. Thank you guys for watching.